And are you Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, sir.
All right, you entered a plea of deadly conduct with a firearm as a third-degree felony. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years. The state is remaining silent on your application, and then there are no contact orders. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Just if I may, I have a couple of paycheck stubs or 3 paycheck stubs of my clients that I'd like to offer. And I had given the state an opportunity to review them. And then I have some photographs of my client with his daughter, if I may offer those to the court for your consideration.
Yes.
Judge, state sign.
All right.
I also have a letter from his boss, Judge. I need to find that.
Okay.
I'm looking for that letter from his boss, Judge. I
All
have
right,
read-
if there's no objection from the state, if you want to make a proffer what the letter says, I do believe he's employed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can look at this as a
It
matter of
just,
public
it
record.
speaks to his promptness as an employee, as a valuable employee, and as to him being consistently employed and being able to continue to be employed should the court grant this application. This speaks to how much the employer values him as an employee, Judge.
Okay. All right, is there anything else?
Mr. Gutierrez, on his behalf, Judge, has had a lot of time to reflect during the pendency of this case. He has 3 children, including a daughter whose picture I showed you, his biological daughter. And he has recently reconnected with her and reestablished good communication with her mom and with her. And he feels extremely motivated now between the opportunity he has at work to do well and his relationship with his daughter being very positive. And he wants to be able to continue in that path and show the court that he can do better. I see the PSI recommends intensive outpatient. I think their focus is probably alcohol. And if the court were to deem any other conditions of free, he would absolutely comply with whatever conditions the court would deem appropriate. He has been on GPS for a considerable amount of time while this case was pending. I think maybe since
So it's been a year or 2 months.
a year and 2 months, he's been on GPS with no violations. And I think that speaks to his motivation to do better and his respect for the court orders and his ability to be a successful probationer. And I hope the court will take into account, that's a significant amount of time. He was on full GPS house arrest, and then that converted to partial where he's been able to work, but no violations. And so we're hoping the court will give him an opportunity to show the court that he can be successful on probation.
All right, but here's my concern and what I don't understand. How old are you?
37.
You're 37. I don't understand going to a bar and people tell you to leave. And your answer to people telling you to leave is, I'm going back to my vehicle and I'm getting a gun and firing the gun. I don't understand that. So I don't know if he wants to be under oath to explain that to the court, but this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. I don't understand why people's first answer to any situation is, let me go get my gun. And I
Well,
know people, I don't know, people seem to have a love affair with weapons. And if you want to have a love affair with the weapon, then you need to treat the weapon with respect because the weapon can kill if it's in the wrong hands. And I'm just trying to figure out, there's an incident that happens. Somebody calls you out your name. Oh, let me go get my gun. I'll show you who I am. Somebody tells you to leave a bar because, I don't know, maybe you're intoxicated. Maybe there's some altercation. I don't understand why people don't leave.
I would say that the offense report and PSI reflect that he says he had 5 beers and 3 shots. So I would submit to the court that he was not thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
He
to
was-
me,
And I'm not saying that intoxication is a defense or mitigating at all. I'm just saying that, it causes a loss of impulse control. And
I mean, I understand what you're saying, counsel, but sometimes I think alcohol gives people courage to do what they otherwise wouldn't have done, as opposed to, oh, my inhibitions are released. Yeah. So I don't know if he wants to speak to the court or not. Because I'll tell you, I'm leaning towards sending you to prison. I haven't heard anything that would suggest to me that I shouldn't send you to prison. Because I don't know somebody who takes some shots. I realize you were intoxicated. I'm reading it, but people put you out of the bar. And it's on Mother's Day too.
It was 6 guys that took me out.
Yeah,
So.
because you wouldn't leave. When people tell you to leave an establishment, just leave. So I don't understand why I should give him deferred adjudication when he went to a bar. And according to things he's saying, somebody tried to come on to his fiance. That's when you leave. And they told him to leave. And maybe they were very rough and pushing him out of the bar. I will give you that. They were rough. They bruise you up, maybe push you out of the bar. But that's where you leave and go home. Hopefully you were not driving with those tequila shots. And then, or if you don't want to leave and you stay in the parking lot, you call the police, but you don't tell people, well, I'm going to show you who I am. And then you go to your vehicle and get your gun. Did your fiance say any, did his fiance say, hey, what are you doing? This is crazy. Let's just go home.
I don't know if that's-
Okay.
The altercation at the bar wasn't good. I think that there were probably others there who also had weapons. Again, not to say that there's necessarily a defensive or mitigate, but maybe it's a little mitigating. It just turned out to be a very rough circumstance. I'm not making light of the offense because obviously it's serious. And I think that the PSI speaks to the alcohol being an issue and intensive outpatient. So I think if the court would give him some opportunity to address the alcohol and maybe perhaps anger management issues, maybe that would help to lessen his future risk to the
And I
community.
see that there are other people who had guns because I see Eric Fields, who's one of the complainants, not the main complainant. He says, I just want my gun back.
Yeah.
This is Texas. We just want our gun back.
So ma'am, I haven't been in trouble since 2005. And being at that.
You want to
bar-
raise your right hand to be sworn in? Can you, do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Guadalupe Gutierrez,
And let me just tell you, your statement about you haven't been in trouble since what time?
2005.
I haven't been in trouble since 1969, and I'm putting it at 1969 because I was potty trained by then. And I didn't pick up any criminal cases. I always tell people when they tell me, I haven't been in a gang, I don't do drugs, I haven't been in trouble. It's like, do you want a cookie for that? That's what you're supposed to do. So let's not start with, I haven't been in trouble since this date, because I'm looking at your criminal history and one of them is terroristic threat. And then criminal trespass. And is this criminal trespass with a weapon?
That was with a box cutter at my aunt's bar. I just left work.
Okay. And then the theft of a vehicle.
That was back in 04.
And now we're back here.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
on all of on the probation from 2013 on the criminal trespass with a weapon, your probation had to be extended. Then on the theft case, a motion to revoke was filed and you were sent to TDC. And now you have this that started as an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the state reduced it to a deadly conduct 3rd degree. So speak to me. Why should I give you deferred? I don't understand why I should.
Well, I mean, I'm not a good talker, but.
That's
you told
okay.
me not to say how it started, but
No,
I
go.
was trying to prove a point that since 2005, I haven't been in trouble. And all those years, I was in oil field for 15 years and I've never had my daughter. So now that I got my daughter, it's a blessing to me because I always wanted it. So now I have an opportunity to be a father and I don't want to mess that up.
I mean, but you have.
I understand.
I think the reunification, if you will, sort of took place after this offense. Is that correct? Meanwhile, you've been on probation with your daughter.
Yeah, it's been good. It's just like I've been on the monitor and I can't blame nobody else but me. But I just started, it gets me kind of angry because I can't take my daughter out other than be with her in the living room.
Well, I don't know why you angry about that. That's all on you.
That's what I just said.
If you would not go to a bar drinking to the point of intoxication and you're in your 30s, you're not a teenager who doesn't know better.
Yeah.
I think that if the court would give him an opportunity for some form of treatment, I think he would welcome that and appreciate that opportunity.
I just don't think he's a good candidate for probation. I mean, shooting up a bar, and it wasn't.
It was outside in the
Mhm.
parking lot.
I see that come on. Thank you. And State, I know you're silent.
Yes, Judge.
Is our applications for probation, for community supervision and deferred?
Yes.
I don't know if it makes a difference to the court. I don't think it necessarily does, but we can withdraw the deferred.
Now, see, this is what I'm reading, and this is my problem. I can understand people being angry and getting upset with people. I honestly don't ever understand people pulling a weapon, because I always taught if you're going to pull a gun on somebody, you need to know that to kill somebody, and don't pull a gun unless you're going to use it. That's what I was always taught. But what it says here in the police report that you stipulated to, I contacted Jason, who is the manager and point of contact for surveillance. Jason provided me with footage from one of the cameras. Jason said he was working on getting footage from the other cameras as well. The footage showed Guadalupe, that's you, being taken out of the bar. He walks to his car and pulls out a small handgun. Guadalupe pointed the gun in the air where 4 spent shell casings were found. Guadalupe and Melissa got into the vehicle and he pulls up to the curb. Eric can be seen in the corner near a white car. Guadalupe opens the car door and his hand extends out. Guadalupe then lowers his hand with the gun and points it toward Eric.
I never pointed the gun at anybody.
I mean, that's what
else
they
but
say is on the
her.
video. I mean, this is video. This is not.
And I showed her that when I saw the video, I pointed it.
Well, because it's surveillance, some parts of it are a little clearer than others, but as the car drives out, it's a little bit less clear. because of the angle of the camera.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing to say, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right. How old is your daughter?
7.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Eric Fields and Lefty's Draft House. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, and because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. I did take into consideration that you have a child and that you want to be in her life and do better, but you're going to have to start making better decisions. And it's obvious that you can't drink alcohol at all. So no alcohol, you understand? All right, good luck to you.